Okay, so welcome everyone. I'm sure, thank you to those who are hopping on live. This is amazing. And for those who are going to be catching the recording, which I'm sure is the majority of you, because like I said, it's during the day and that's a tough time for a lot of people. But thank you again for watching, for hopping on. We are just here to talk to you about, we're doing something different. I don't know if you've listened in on different Beachbody coach opportunities, different topics, but today all we're going to do is kind of share our story a little bit, a quick little ditty about how we got started, kind of where we're at, and then we're just going to do a roundtable discussion about the common questions that we get asked about being a Beachbody coach and questions that you guys have sent in and that you did ask from that form that you filled out. So these are all questions coming from you and from people who have reservations about joining. So we are going to be answering those questions. You're going to get a couple different perspectives on each question, and hopefully you will be able to connect with one answer, a couple different ones, so you can make that decision whether to move forward on this opportunity or not. So without further ado, let's roll. So we're going to start with Whitney just because she's first on my screen and I see her right now. So Whitney, you're in. Oh, there we go.
Are we good? I had unmuted myself at the same time. Great. Yes, I'm Whitney. I've been coaching for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in April. I have 4 little girls. They are 7, 5, 3, and she'll be 5 months on Sunday. So anytime someone says we don't understand how you can do this job, I'm proof because I have 4 very young ones. 2 of them are home with me full time. And I rocked all 4 during the summer, so it can be done. But I was one of those, I'm a non-athlete. Like I have never been like super into fitness. I am the cheerleader side of things. I did cheer and dance a little bit, but I got a degree in counseling. And so my passion was to help people and help people just talk through who they are and all that kind of stuff. So that is kind of the foundation of where I was at. I was in a season of life where I was working part-time for a nonprofit and I was having to leave my girls on crucial days. Like I missed trick-or-treat night 3 years in a row because I always had to run an event. And I was missing dumb things like a Christmas parade, but we always had an event that weekend. And I wasn't in the office every day, but anytime we would have an event, I was an event planner and I had to be there for the event. And so it just broke my heart to have to leave the girls on all those major things. And so my mind was open for something else. And at the same time, after I had my 3rd little girl, I had 4 kids under 4, or 3 kids under 4, and it just was overwhelming. I was tired all the time, which makes sense. My body was starting to hurt, and I honestly didn't know how to fill my cup. I knew a few things, but I knew that I needed to start eating better if I wanted to get healthy and have that energy. And so I joined a gym and I was all excited about that. And I would get on the treadmill every day. And the babysitters, I picked a place that had free babysitting. I was like, this is genius. Free babysitting. I'll put my little ones in. All 3 of them went in. It was perfect. It was 10 degrees because I started in January like most people do. And it was 10 degrees outside and I would wrap them up and take them to the gym. And by the 2nd week, the babysitting ladies were popping their head out the door because my baby at the time was screaming bloody murder the whole time. And at first they kept saying, it's fine, she just has to get used to us. And she didn't. And so then they started calling me to come and get her. So I would get 15 minutes of a run in because that's all I knew how to do was either run or do the elliptical. That's seriously all I knew how to do at the gym. And so I would get 15, 20 minutes in and then I'd have to go get her because I could see them with their head out the window or their head out the door of the babysitting. And it was I'm trying. And it was another one of those things as a mom that I was I'm trying so hard to do this whole self-care thing and get myself healthy. And it's just not working. I just wanted to give up. And one night my husband had T25, which is a Beachbody workout. And he's like, why don't you try that? And so what I did is I set my alarm and I woke up in the mornings. I had never heard about coaching or a challenge group or anything like that. We just happened to have these DVDs from years ago. And I was like, okay, forget the gym. And I woke up early and I would spend a couple minutes reading. And then I would press play and get a 30-minute workout done before the kids woke up. And it was unlike me because I don't like to wake up early. And within 2 weeks, I had dropped 5 pounds. And after a month at the gym, I hadn't lost anything. And all of a sudden it was like I was feeling alive again. I was like getting my body moving. I felt good about myself. I was like, all those things that come with just staying active. And so at that point I was like, well, I'm sold. Like, what are these workouts? And I started seeing this girl talking about coaching on Facebook. And she wasn't even really talking about coaching. She was just talking about 21 Day Fix. That was really popular then. And so after months of watching her, through my whole journey, I messaged her and I'm like, all right, tell me more. So long story short, I decided to do the 21 Day Fix all in. And I had never cut out sweets my entire life. I had never watched my carbs. I did not understand anything about eating. I had always eaten decently healthy, so I thought, but oh my goodness, I did not know anything. And so I committed 100% all in. I didn't cheat. I followed that eating plan. And again, I was like another 5 pounds down. My stomach looked like smaller. And after having a baby, I was just blown away. And the biggest thing I think is that I was taught how to eat healthy. Like, I didn't realize I wasn't getting enough greens every day and enough protein. So like, no wonder I had no energy. And so after doing that, after being in a challenge group and seeing how the opportunity that I had to cheer others on, I was like all in. So I connected with a coach friend of mine and talked to my husband one night, and he was like, I've never heard you be so excited about anything in a long time. Because I was like, I think this could be great accountability for me. And I think that this could be my way to like cheer other people on. Like, when I learned something for myself, I wanted to just like shout it from the rooftops, like, all you moms that are trying to do this, it can really work. And because it did for me. So I jumped in because I was just excited to share what I was learning. And then as I got into it, I started to really gain a passion for it and a passion for helping other women. And I said in the beginning, I have a counseling background. So it was like right on the money. Like, I knew what to do. I knew how to connect with women and cheer women on. And I know that you don't have to know that stuff beforehand, but I wasn't a big fitness guru or a big health guru. So that was my niche. Like, that was the way that I could really connect with people, was on the internal side of things. And then I'm giving them tools to help with the external. So that's just a little brief part of my story. I know everyone has a different one, which makes it so exciting, but I'll let someone else chat next, and then I'll talk more with the questions. Who wants to go next?
Larissa, why don't you go?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. You might hear my kids screaming in the back. I'm not sure. They are being supervised, but just fair warning. So my name is Larissa. I have been a coach technically for about 2.5 years, but I actually signed up as a discount coach. So I signed up for no reason except for getting the discount on my Shakeology. So I've been really running the business and trying to building it for about 1.5 years now, since my youngest was born. I have 2 girls. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and then a daughter who is going to be 18 months in a few days. And then I am married, and my husband is in the military. We just recently moved from Arizona, where I lived my entire life, across the country to Delaware. And that's something I'm really excited to share about too, because it made a shift with being able to coach and not have to look for another job when I got here. But so my coaching story, or how I got started, was before I was a coach, I was completely opposite of everything you would expect a coach to be. I never worked out. I was never into health and fitness. I never ate healthy. I was probably the most negative person you would ever meet in your life. I had so many self-esteem issues. I had no confidence. I wasn't organized at all, which I'm still not super organized, but but I worked all the time. I have always been a really, really hard worker. I worked 3 jobs from the time I was like 17 up until I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, and then I cut it down to 2. I worked 2 jobs as a hairstylist and a server when I was pregnant up until I had her. And then I was working as a medical receptionist after I had my daughter for 40 hours a week, which was really hard because it was funny because after I had her, I was like, I don't want these crazy hours with the salon and the bar anymore. I just want to have a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job where I have a schedule and that consistency. Like, that was my mindset. And so I looked for it and I found it, soon realized it was crushing me because my daughter, she was 7 weeks old when I went back to work when she was born. So she was 7 weeks old when I started working full time as a receptionist. My husband would take her at 6 a.m. to go to daycare. And then I would get home at 6 p.m. So from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, I didn't see my baby. And then I was like, I wanted this consistent Monday through Friday schedule. Like, no, this is hell. So then I went back to serving at night and weekends, which worked better for our family so I could see my baby, but I was never seeing my husband because I was working nights when he would get home, and then I would work all weekends so he could stay with our daughter. I was super against, like I said, I was not into health and fitness at all. I wasn't really interested. My coach was somebody I worked with at the restaurant. Her name is Shauna, and I was there from the beginning when she started getting into, she did the 21 Day Fix, and she had her own health and fitness transformation. Honestly, I had no interest. I really didn't. Being totally open and honest, I was super annoyed by her Facebook posts. I was not interested at all. She reached out to me about joining challenge groups, and I was like, I don't need a diet. I'm breastfeeding my baby. I need to make sure I'm getting enough calories, all these things. I was just super not interested. Nothing wrong with her doing it for her, but it just wasn't for me. And then my husband was deployed. Our baby was almost 1, and he was deployed, and he left in January of 2015. And then it all kind of came crashing down because I was by myself. I'd never been by myself before. I'd never been kind of like a solo parent. I'd never lived by myself. And I was so focused on taking care of our daughter that I left little to nothing for me. Nothing at all. I was barely eating. That was kind of my thing. I wasn't really a binge eater. I wasn't overweight. I would just not eat. And it wasn't on purpose. But, like the hustle and bustle of mom life, you don't take care of yourself, right? Like we forget to eat. We skip meals. We eat maybe coffee in the morning and then have dinner like at 10 p.m. when our kids go to bed. And that was me. I never worked out. I would look Pinterest workouts up on Pinterest, right? Like do 15 wall squats and 25 squats and run in place and all that stuff. And I would do that. I would get sore 2 days later and be like, oh my God, I'm done. And it would be like 2 weeks before I returned to it because I had no accountability. I had nobody doing it with me. I had plus I had that mindset of, well, I don't really have to lose weight. So why am I working out? And then I had people in my ear too telling me, why are you working out? You don't need to lose weight. It's for your health. See, there's my daughter. So anyway, I was run down. I was so run down and I was feeling it. I would walk up my stairs to get my baby from her nap and I would stand at the top of the stairs, like from just walking up the stairs. And I'd be like, and I couldn't breathe. So I reached out to my friend because I just knew I wasn't eating. I needed some kind of nutrition. And honestly, I was really only interested in Shakeology because I knew it had stuff that you need in it to feel better. And I was like, if I'm getting all these nutrients at least once a day, that's better than nothing I'm putting in my body right now. So I asked her about that. There was like a deal going on that was, $20 more and you get like the workouts and stuff, which I really wasn't interested in, but I was like, whatever, I'll try it, because I like to save money. Signed up 100% for the discount. No other reason as a coach. I remember she actually posted on Facebook after I signed up. She put like a picture of me and she put like, welcome Coach Larissa. And I flipped. I untagged myself and I was like, what are you doing? Like, no, like I just want the discount. Like that's it. And then the next day at work, somebody was like, I saw Shauna got you on board or something. I was like, no, like, they were like, are you going to start posting on Facebook? Like she doesn't. I was like, I remember where I was standing. I was like, that'll never be me. And I just wanted the discount. And that was it. I was like, you know what? It's good for me. I'm gonna drink it. It makes me feel better. It's what I need right now. And I had no shame in that, but I was not gonna coach. So fast forward a little bit, programs friggin' changed my life. I never realized how much those dang little containers would help me eat and make sure I was being healthy, bring my energy up. I was like, God, people feel like this? Like, normally? Like, you don't know how bad you're feeling really until you feel better, right? So fast forward a little bit more, still not really interested in coaching. I posted my results for my 21 Day Fix, which was basically, I looked healthy. I didn't look sick anymore. I felt good. My energy was up. I just felt so much better. And I had a few people reaching out and I was actually forwarding them to my coach. I was like, this is your deal. Go for it. And I was added to the team pages, like the coach team pages. Becoming a coach, you get to be part of this our team pages, our Facebook community, our virtual community. We do team chats like this, stuff like that. And I was just kind of like lurking. Like I was just very curious. I was never commenting. I was never talking to anybody, but I was like, God, like this is pretty awesome. Like all these people supporting each other. Again, I was really negative. Working in a restaurant, it's a pretty negative place because everybody pretty much hates their job, right? So you go into work and you're complaining before you even get there. And that's not a good environment. so I was just like, this is really nice. A few times I hopped on the team calls and it just kind of sparked my interest, and I started getting more and more into it. And I was already working out, right? I was already doing the programs and drinking my Shakeology because I loved it and it made me feel good, that I just immersed myself in the community and realized how much I freaking loved it and how much it could really change my life. Like, I didn't realize, I always thought everything online was a great get-rich-quick scheme. I always thought it was a scam, or you have to be a salesperson and sell a certain amount of product, all this stuff. And that's just not for me. Like, that is not my thing. But the way I looked at it is, worst case, say this doesn't change my family's life. Say this doesn't make me rich or whatever. I'm so much better off than I was before. I am working out. I'm healthier. I'm being a great example for my kids who, honestly, I don't even, it terrifies me to think about the kind of things they would learn from me, health and fitness or lifestyle wise or anything, if I wasn't doing this, especially because I was in such a bad place with my negativity. I remember something too that made me kind of jump into the coaching side of things. I was at work one day and a bartender was talking, and she was talking to me and saying how somebody at work didn't like me. And I thought we were pretty good friends. And they're like, yeah, they just say you complain all the time. And I thought about it and I was like, they're right. Shoot, I can't even be mad at that. And I was like, I need to change something. My life is so much different, financial aspect aside, from coaching. The teammates, all these people on this call, they're all family now, and I didn't know them a few years ago, and I was never a part of teams or I wasn't athletic or anything like Whitney was saying. So I never really had that team aspect, and I didn't realize how much it could change my life until that happened. I was building this business while I was serving and bartending still, while my husband was deployed. I had a 1-year-old daughter, and I was working when she was napping. I was working in my spare time at work. And in October of last year, I was able to quit my serving and bartending job and be home with my kids full time. Through a pregnancy also, I ran this business. So that's not a reason why you can't run this business. If anything, that was my favorite time to run this business, was when I was pregnant. But I was able to quit my job. And then when we moved across the country, it was just such an amazing thing to not stress about having to find a new job, not stress about what I'm going to do. I have no family here. Who's going to watch my kids, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of part of my story. And then again, I'll talk more when we answer questions.
Dang it, that was awesome. So Kira, are you ready?
I unmuted myself. Yeah, okay. Let me just make sure my little thing doesn't fall over, because it will do that. And then, okay, so thank you everybody for being here. I have a couple ladies that I've invited and I see on, and I'm very excited to have this opportunity to talk to you guys. A little bit about myself. I'm currently living in Germany right now. I'm a single mom, and life is full of surprises. I want to just tell you how I ended up becoming a Beachbody coach. When I moved here to Germany, the reason I left the United States was because my daughter's father is in the military. We're split up, but for me, it was the best decision to come over to Germany so we could maintain that close relationship and just kind of have a good nuclear, huge family, The idea behind me coming over here was to spend as much time with my daughter as I could. I left an amazing job back home. I was making $70,000 a year. It was amazing. And coming over here, I decided I'm not going to work. I'm just going to spend time with my daughter. Okay, that is a fantasy. That shit doesn't work. Okay, so bills started to pile up. Stuff got crazy. And I started to think, what do I want to do with my life? I'm really at a crossroad. And so I took a second to reflect and think about all the different career fields I've had. I'm an Air Force. I'm an Air Force retired reservist. I'm a firefighter. I'm an EMT. I've been a coach to little girls in t-ball and softball and soccer. And where it really comes down to is I have such a passion for helping people. And I think that really boils, that is what Beachbody coaches do. We help people live a healthier and happier life, whether it's improving your mindset, whether it's improving your fitness, whether you're coming off of medication, whether you're figuring out your autoimmune diseases. Like, we just better ourselves by encouraging people to live a healthier life. Because that was my passion, it's obviously what I was on the radar looking for. And I came across my mentor, my upline coach, Katie. And I watched her, you guys. I watched her for a year. And I watched her work out. I watched her celebrate people, empower other women. I watched her make gains. I watched her get pregnant, lose weight. I saw her just do amazing things. And I saw her also making a 6-figure income, guys. That's major, all from staying at home with her babies. That to me is like an ultimate dream. For the ladies that are on here that don't have kids, like, I get it, but think outside of the box. I became a Beachbody coach because I had a passion to help people, and I had a passion to stay home and build a lucrative income. That is why I became a Beachbody coach, and I have no shame saying it. I want to stay home with my daughter. I don't want to go to work. I don't want people to tell me what the fuck to do. Sorry, I'm a control freak, and I like to be able to make my own hours. I don't want to clock in, and I don't want to be micromanaged. And here's the thing. Becoming a coach, you get to decide all of those things. You get to decide what time you work, when you're going to clock in, when you're going to take vacation, when you're going to have meetings. Like, that's everything that I wanted. And when I watched Katie, I realized, holy shit, she's doing everything that I want to do. So why not me? That's why I became a Beachbody coach. So the ladies that I've invited to this, 2 particular ladies, and you all know who I'm talking about. I see so much potential in you guys in being influencers and helping women and helping empower and helping build a business for yourselves. I know you guys I know you guys relate to me and relate to all of these ladies that are here because we have a passion for helping people. And that's why I became a coach. And you know, if you're thinking or even have like a little bit of a doubt or curiosity to this, I encourage you to do much research. I encourage you to kind of take a step back. Don't think inside the box. Don't think that this is only Beachbody. Don't think this is only like workouts. Don't think this is just, you know, you have to be this one-dimensional cookie cutter person, because the ultimate thing in this, the focus is that you're selling your story. As beautiful, as traumatic, as wonderful as it is, like, you're selling your story to help empower other women. So yeah, I think that's all for now, you guys, and I'll round up and answer more questions. Okay?
I love it. All right, so real quick, I'm going to share my story, and then we're going to dive into the questions. So I've been a coach for 4 years now. I have 3 kids, 2 boys, 1 girl. All of them are 4 and younger. So all of us have busy households. So when people come to me talking about excuses or that they don't have time, I don't even listen to it, because you have time for things that you make time for. And everyone's busy. You're never going to go up to somebody and ask them like, hey, how are you? You're never going to find someone who doesn't say, oh, we're just busy. It was a busy holiday. It was a busy weekend. You're never going to find that. Like, or you are going to find that. No one is never going to say, you guys know what I'm saying, shit. You're never going to find someone who says they're not busy. Everybody is busy, okay? So you have to now prioritize your time and make time for what is good for you. So back when I started a Beachbody program after I had my first son. I was a gym rat. I have a health and fitness degree. I have a master's in exercise physiology. Health and fitness is my jam. I was a college athlete. So fitness is not an issue for me. I love going to the gym. Like I said, I taught people how to be personal trainers. I worked at a gym. Like, the gym was my thing. So I had a baby, which totally threw me off course, right? And I had, like, not that I was ever overweight or anything, but you stop playing a college sport, you start gaining weight because you're not you're not expending calories the same you were at that type of level, but you're still eating the same. So obviously things changed in my body, right? And then I had a baby, and after this baby, I was like, shit, we got to lose this weight, and we got to lose it not fast, but like, we just got to lose it. Like, if I don't do something, it's just going to get worse, right? And I didn't feel good about myself. And one baby overwhelmed me, okay? So like, and I laugh about that now because I have 3, but when I had one baby, I was like, I can't go anywhere. I can't go to the gym. I don't know what I'm going to do. No one's going to watch him. So I'm like, I can't go to the gym. I have a baby. I can't go. And so I had to do something at home, right? And I saw a friend was doing Insanity, a Shaun T program. And I was like, oh, well, she's doing it. She just had twins and she's losing weight. So I guess I'm going to try it. We didn't have money at the time. Like, my husband and I lived paycheck to paycheck. There was no extra money to do extra things. Like, it was, you're getting a paycheck, you're paying the bills, and that extra 100 or 200 is paying groceries, and that's it. Like, good luck going to get yourself a tank top. Good luck going to Target and getting whatever the hell you want, because it didn't happen, okay? So I bought the Insanity Challenge Pack without telling my husband. I didn't tell him. And then when it came, he's like, what's this? And I'm like, well, I'm doing this for me. Just let me do it. Let me try it. I don't want to hear anything. Just let me do it. I have to do something. Okay? And so I did it. I lost all my baby weight. I ended up loving the Shakeology because I wasn't eating very well, and because, again, one baby like flips your world up, right? And so I knew I was getting nutrients with the Shakeology. Then I saw somebody else posting about just an income that they were making and that you can sign up as a coach for the discount. And I was like, well, that sounds fun. We have no money. I still want this though. So I'm going to sign up for a discount. So I signed up for the discount to be a coach, right? And at that point, I also decided that I wasn't going back to my full-time job because it was an hour away. So like, to find daycare for like 5 a.m. to like 8 p.m., you can't really find it anywhere around us. So we decided to quit. I was going to quit my job, right? So that even took our income down a little bit lower. We thought we were going to be fine, right? Well, like 3 months later, we're like, oh shit, we have no money, right? And so I saw my coach that I signed up with, that she was actually making money. She was making a lot of money at that, what I thought was a lot of money at that point. She's making way more money now. But I thought it was a lot of money at that point. And I asked her, I'm like, what do I have to do? So this is probably 3-4 months into me being a discount coach. I'm like, what do I have to do to make money? Because at that point, I just wanted money to pay bills, because now we had to get a new car. And so now we have a car payment where we didn't before. Like, things were starting to stack up, and credit card bills were starting to stack up now. And so she told me. So I did exactly what she said. And then life changed within 6 months, because within 6 months, I was making the same amount that I was making in my full-time job. So meaning we get paid every week with Beachbody. So my like 2 Beachbody payments or paychecks were making one paycheck that I would have made at my full-time job, right? So 6 months into that, I was like, all right. So then I actually realized that I could go and do big things with this. So then fast forward, we had another baby, and Larissa, I think you said it was your favorite time in the journey. I like to say that having a baby is the best business decision that you could do for Beachbody, okay? That's why we have number 3. That is why we have that little girl. And
I totally joked about that until Jason that. It's like,
it's a true story, you guys. So if you are pregnant, if you are worried that you won't be able to do this business, if you end up getting pregnant, that is such a joke, because your business is going to blow up if you utilize it the right way. So in our story, yes, I was able to make 6 figures in my second year. So I signed up in June. That first year was I don't know how much I made that first year, but then I was able to make 6 figures and continue to repeat that every single year now. So to where my weekly paychecks are more than I would have made in a month at my old full-time job. So so again, being able to do this in the cracks of time and being able to have something to where I didn't have to physically drive to work, where I have the choice to put the kids in daycare or into preschool or do something so I have time for myself. I have those options now because I committed to doing something that was kind of just different, right? It's kind of outside of the box. Everyone tells us to, and I know my family, it was go to school, it was get a degree, get a job. And of course, I was all gung-ho. I'm like, I'm going to be the first person in my family to get a master's degree, and I'm going to get this kick-ass job and make bank. And I did not make bank, and I remember just being so pissy about it. I'm like, I thought you're supposed to make money with this, and it wasn't, right? But let me tell you, taking this unconventional route now and having other people question me from the beginning, and then they look at me now, and I just, I just look at them, and it's one of those things like, like watch me now and see what you can do. Like, don't judge a business as unconventional, especially in this time of the economy and this time of, I don't know, where we live, right? This time of the world. So let's go into some questions, okay? And the girls are just gonna hop on. We're just gonna answer as we go. Okay, so first one that we got, hold on. Okay, first one that we got here is, what was your number one fear before becoming a coach, and why was it not true? Does anyone want to take that first? Oh, all right.
Go ahead, Kara. Nope.
I was gonna say you're unmuted. So for me, my biggest fear was like, oh my gosh, everybody's gonna judge me. They're gonna think I'm this silly like network marketer on this, pyramid scheme craziness. I'm gonna lose so many friends and I'm gonna be annoying. But that's so far from the truth. It really is, because I've never gone out and been like, oh, buy this for me, and this is, sell this. Like, that's not what I've done at all. And that's not what any of us do. We don't encourage you guys to do that. Like I said before, this is all about sharing your story. So, and being really proof of the product, because the products work. You're focused on living a healthier life, so you live a healthier life and you're healthier, and you practice on improving your mental health. You're healthier, your emotional stability is better. And so all of those things, like just sharing that, people are drawn in and they're asking questions. It's not like don't post anymore. I've never, not once, have gotten a negative comment. I know that's weird to say, but I've never gotten a negative comment on my post or something that I've posted. It's always been encouraging. So there's that.
Mine's kind of the same. I was nervous about being a salesperson or annoying my friends, and I was scared about that for a really long time, but it's not true. And the more that I thought about it and the more I got into it, the more I realized, like, what I'm doing is I'm bettering my life. I'm working on me. I am improving just my entire mindset and everything. And anybody on my friends list, or like in general or in my life, who has something negative to say about that, or who doesn't support me in that, I don't really want them in my life anyway, right? It took me a long time to get to that point, but it's the truth.
I can do mine. So mine was, what if I fail, right? So I, being athletic and being very competitive, it was like, well, what if I'm not the best? What if I fail at this? And when we start as Beachbody coaches, you're introduced in a training and you learn about what's called the 4 vital behaviors. And one of those vital behaviors is personal development. And personal development, when I was introduced to that, you start growing yourself. So your mindset totally changes. You start becoming a better person, and you start realizing that it's a good thing to fail. It's a good thing to do this trial and error. And so I think for me, that fear of failure was overcome by doing personal development, to where my mind just got stronger in dealing with day-to-day issues.
Yeah, and mine's a little bit of the opposite, because I was worried that no one would trust me because I had no fitness and health background. And I thought, like, how are people going to trust me? Like, I'm just now starting out. Like, I had no big, massive transformation. I basically jumped in head on. But I learned that it was me just inspiring and sharing during the process that people gravitated to. They didn't need to see my transformation story. They needed to be in it with me. So that was probably what scared me the most and what it turned out not to be so bad.
Yeah, I dig it. All right. So next question, let's see. We kind of hit this, but were you nervous to post on social media? I'm going to go real quick and give you my 2 cents on this one. So Facebook came out when I was in college. But I just used it. I wasn't posting like every day. I didn't post like a maniac. And even once I had my kids, right, I wasn't posting. And everyone's so scared to post pictures of their kids. Guess what? People are going to find you and your kids no matter where you go. So it doesn't matter. And when people and moms come to me and tell me that they're scared or they don't want to post things because of their kids or their family, you guys, come on. I mean, so scared to post on social media, scared of what? And that's what you have to ask yourself. What are you scared of? Someone saying no, someone saying something mean to you, block them. A family member not supporting you, they need help. So that's someone that you can help right there, right? You know, there's all these different things that you can build on. And again, the personal development helps you with that. So that's my take on people who tell me that they're scared to post on social media.
Same, like ditto. But yeah, same kind of thing. Like I said, I untagged myself from that thing when my coach tagged me. I was like, that'll never be me. Just because I was scared of what people would think and stuff. But I'm trying to help people and I'm trying to improve my life. So.
All right, cool. So let's go to the next one. This is a good one. So how much time do you have to commit to coaching?
Okay, I have 4 kids, so I'll start. In the beginning, it was a solid hour a day. And what's awesome is it can be those mom pockets. It can be those 20 minutes before everybody wakes up for the day. It can be 20 minutes during rest time or while they're eating lunch. And then it could be a little bit of time in the evening after everyone goes to bed. And a lot of people are a little afraid of that because then it's like, oh, that's my downtime as a mom. Or even if you're working full time, like you use your lunch hour, or a lot of times people are a little nervous because that means they're not focusing on their husband in the evening. And what we've done is just kind of we talk it out. Like as cheesy as it sounds, every Sunday night we talk through the week. He tells me, my husband's a pastor, so his schedule's a little unique. So that means that some nights he has events. Some nights I have events like outside of this, like friends or rehearsals or things like that. And so we just talk it out, and I'll be like, all right, so Tuesday night when we get the girls to bed, I'm just going to go into the office and spend a couple hours. Boom. He doesn't feel like he's being left out or neglected by me being on my phone all the time. But what the beauty of this job is you can find those pockets. At this level, I do spend more than an hour a day, but I've worked up to that. And it's one of those things that you can put in as much time as you want. Now I get a babysitter one day a week for 3 hours. That's it. 3 hours, and it allows me in the morning, because I love that morning time, like that 9 a.m. I go to a coffee shop and I knock out a bunch of stuff. My kids get to play with a college girl. They love it. But I worked myself up to that. Again, it's not like from day one. And then it allows me just to shut down when I come home that day. So it's those pockets, and it's all just about, like Katie said in the beginning, you spend time on the things that you value. And I value this, so I'm going to block out time for it.
Yeah, so this was one of those things that in the beginning, we have in our trainings that we provide you is we have what's called power hours, right? So we lay out what you need to do every single day to guide you to success. That if you consistently do X, Y, Z, you will be successful, right? And so that is very helpful, right? And so again, finding the pockets like Whitney said, and then also for me, it was sacrificing things that I like to do, right? It was, I'm not going to go out tonight and hang out with my girlfriends because I'm going to do this, because I have a greater and bigger goal at the end, right? So I'm going to work a little bit more and kind of a little bit harder right now to be able to do these things later in 2-3 years, right? So being able to give up a year of your life maybe, and I say give up loosely, like, sorry, you're not going to watch Netflix all day, okay? So when people tell me they're too busy because, oh, I just watched 5 hours of Netflix, what's my next season, yo? No, you have time then, right? You had 5 hours that you could have just killed in this business. So, again, we have the pockets of time that you use, you utilize your time wisely, you sacrifice maybe things that aren't necessary, right? And do a little work at that time, an hour before the kids get up, an hour after the kids go to bed. Me personally, at this level of the business, I do spend quite a bit of time. I probably spend between, I don't know, collectively about 4 hours a day. But guess what? That's still part-time, and I'm making way more than a full-time salary. So I don't know, sit on that, all right? All right. Okay, so this next question kind of goes into the other one. I'm too busy to be a coach. What would you say to that person? Oh, Kira's coming.
Oh, go, Kira. No, you look pumped, girl. Go. Well, I'm less excited about my answer. I would say, first thing I would ask is busy doing what? You know, like walk me through your day. Where, like, and pick out those pockets of time. Like Katie just said, like, well, after dinner, I like to sit down and watch Netflix or something like that. And you know what? My husband and I when we were both working all the time, and I was working nights and I was working weekends at the bar and stuff, like we barely saw each other. So the times that we did have to sit and watch Netflix were special. And I felt really bad about like going and getting some work done and stuff. But then what we started doing was I planned, you know, Thursday nights after the kids go to bed, we would have a movie night every Thursday night. And that was our like downtime, because in reality, I have a lot of pockets of time. You can do little things like your personal development. You can listen to an audiobook when you're getting ready. You can listen to an audiobook in the car. You can do it. I do it all the time when I'm doing dishes. I was walking in the airport the other day and had headphones in. I was listening to trainings. Like, there is time. It's the biggest excuse. I'm sorry. It is. That's what I gotta say.
Boom. All right. All right. Okay, next one. I only work out at the gym. How can I still coach? You just opened yourself to a whole new market of people. That's what you just did, right? So if you are familiar with Beachbody, you know there's Beachbody on demand. You put it on your phone, you bring it on your tablet, it's on your laptop, you Bluetooth it to your earbuds, right? You can work out with your Beachbody workouts at the gym, right? And while you're at the gym, are there people at the gym who don't know what they're doing? Are there Whitneys at the gym who are walking on the treadmill, on the elliptical, not knowing what they're doing that you could help? Absolutely. Being a personal trainer, and even if you're in the fitness industry, being a personal trainer, you are a slave to everybody else's time. You are working early mornings and you are working late nights and you are working hours, because you're only training one person at a time. So you're not making money unless you train more people, and you only have a limited amount of time during the day. And the biggest complaint from trainers is that they can't help enough people. They don't have time. So this is an opportunity for someone who is a gym rat, is a gym goer, who obviously likes working out, and maybe you can help people, right? Since you have that passion already. It's a whole new just opening for you. So I think being a member at a gym is an incredible resource for you to use. Anyone else? Are we good with that one?
I have one more quick little thing is I still have a lot of people who really just like going to the gym because they like going and out. But guess what? You can do all of these workouts at the gym too. And like Katie said, show people what you're doing. Somebody asks what you're doing. Oh, well, let me show you all this stuff I got. And like she said, whenever I would try to go to the gym, I had no idea what the hell I was doing, like at all. I would kill for somebody just to or a video to show me what I was doing, even if I wanted to get out and go to the gym. So yeah, lots of people who can still do these programs at the gym. It just opens up a whole new door of opportunity.
Yeah, it's just a different avenue for you guys to take as well. When you become a Beachbody coach, you are not locked into Beachbody. It doesn't mean you can't do anything else. It doesn't mean you can't go to a yoga studio. It doesn't mean you can't go do Pilates, or you can't go do, I don't know, what's the latest, Zumba, right? Or whatever, CrossFit, right? I'm a CrossFit level 1 coach. So you can still do everything, you guys. It's pick and choose, and it gives you options as well. And it connects you just to a different community of people to help, because guess what? A lot of times people can figure out fitness, sometimes, I don't know, but nutrition is what they can't figure out. So that's where you come in, so you can provide them tools to nutritionally put their whole fitness, health, and wellness together. All right, that's enough on that. This is a good one. Okay, what is the best, most vital behavior that you do every day to help build your business? So I want everyone to answer this real quick, like one or two.
I'll go real quick. I would say being proof of the product, because I will tell you, when I am on my game and when I'm like, we just started a new challenge 5 days ago, every single freaking time I am on my game and I'm doing my workouts, I'm working on my own journey and everything, my business is booming so much more. So being proof of the product, we can't ask people to do things if we're not doing them ourselves. And in turn, I'm making my life better and I feel better. I'm more positive, all of those kinds of things. And then personal development. Like I said, I was so negative. I was just so miserable. I complained all the time. And now I'm that annoying person that spews positivity and inspirational quotes all the time. My husband says something like kind of, and I'm like, oh, well. And then I come back with this like inspirational thing. And I just love that part of this business and how that's a part of this business is becoming a better person.
I'll go next. Mine is very similar to Larissa's. I think personal development. I'm a huge personal development person. I think that if you are not improving your mental health and your production and who you are as a person, like you're not going to improve your business and you can't help anybody else. Also, like, and I don't know, it's like Larissa said, being proof of the product and consistency.
Okay, of course, ditto to those things, but I'll say a different one. I invite every day. And that is one of our things. I'm very consistent. It's where I'm the most consistent. And by inviting, it just means I reach out to someone that has been liking my pictures or that has been interacting with my posts. And I just say, hey, like you've been super, like you've been super supportive. Thank you so much. Do you have interest in hearing more? Or are you just kind of giving me a shout out all the time? It's super chill. It's not overwhelming, but that is probably where I'm the most consistent every day. Of course, all the other things too, but invite.
So the behavior that I would say that is most important, it's not quote unquote one of Beachbody's behaviors, but it's consistency. So if you are consistent every single day, you will not fail. You will have success. It's just like if you have a brick and mortar job that you have to go to, you have to get up, you have to walk out the door, you have to go, you have tasks that you have to perform. If you do those well, you will be good at your job. Here, you are at home, you have a list of things that you need to do. If you do those things every single day, you will be good at your job and be successful. The only difference is being at home, no one's telling you what to do. You have to do it yourself, right? So consistency is the key though. All right, now let's get into some fun stuff. All right, so what are some examples of financial freedom that Beachbody has provided for you and your family?
Our big Christmas present for 3 of our big girls was dance classes. And like one of those things we didn't have to sit down and try to squeeze it into the budget or figure it out. We just said, we're giving you this for this year. And it's totally because of this. There's plenty more, but I'll just go short and sweet.
We keep muting and unmuting ourselves to see who's going to go next. I'll go, but I touched base a little bit about this when I was talking earlier, but that I was able to leave my serving and bartending job. And then when we moved over here, I didn't have to worry about finding another job and I can stay with my kids. And then also last year, I got a new car for the first time in like forever. And it was just like an amazing thing. I had to get a bigger car because we were having another baby and my car was like super unsafe and terrifying. And that gave me a lot of anxiety. It really did. So I was able to get my mom car. And that was just such an amazing feeling to not stress out about, I didn't like pay it off in full, but I had to increase my payments and I wasn't stressing about that. And that was like such an amazing thing. And then this isn't so much like a financial, well, it kind of is, but the trips that Beachbody rewards you with, being able to take, I don't have to request time off, but those kinds of trips, although that's not like a financial thing, those trips are amazing and it's an amazing reward. Last year we went to Punta Cana, we're going to Mexico in a few months. Like that's just one huge, amazing part that has helped us.
So I think whenever someone talks about money, everyone thinks it's so taboo. Like, don't talk about the money part. Don't tell them how much you make. Don't do it, because it makes everyone uncomfortable. And you guys, let's be serious. Half the reason we do this is to make money so we don't have to go to work, so we can stay home and make our own hours, do our own thing, right? So money is important, and it's important to know what you can do with this business. So I have two big financial, I guess, markers for me in this business. And one of them was last year when I was able to get our Tahoe, and it was all me. And when I wrote down when you write down, I don't know, on the piece of paper when you're at the dealership and they're like, how much money you make? And I put down the dollar amount. When the car salesman was like, oh, no, just like, how much do you make alone? Not you and your husband together. And I was like, bro, that's all me. And the look on his face was priceless, but that was so rewarding. And it made me feel so good and like such a badass to know like that is all me. So all me. And number two is, so we have five kids. Well, we do kind of. My husband has two kids, so we really do have 5 kids. So I have 2 stepsons who are older, and we planned a big Disney trip this year. If you've been to Disney, you know Disney's expensive. And I was able to pay for our entire Disney trip with a month's salary, or a month's worth of paychecks. And let me talk to you about our Disney trip here. We stayed at the Contemporary. We had a 3-room suite. We did every single character dinner at every single park. We had the flight. So and we took my mother-in-law. So we had 7 flights to pay for. We got a limo from the airport. I mean, we did this shit up big, right? But it didn't affect us after, right? Because we had that, and that was something that we had worked for. 4 years ago, if you would have told me that I had 3 kids, I would have laughed at you, because we would have stopped at 2 because we couldn't afford a 3rd one. But it was a business decision to do it. Just kidding. If you would have told me we had 3 kids, I would have laughed. If you were told me we were going to go on this killer dream Disney vacation and eat at all these fantastic places down there, I would have laughed at you, because we didn't have money to go drive 2 hours to stay at a hotel for a weekend, you guys. But we had the capabilities to do this. And obviously sky's the limit, and there is no stopping. Okay, so that's that. Last one, because we're getting close to our hour mark. I love it. Okay, so 2 more, sorry. Favorite memory as a coach, keep it real quick. I'm going to go my favorite memory. Larissa touched on this, but Beachbody rewards you, which go find me another company that rewards you and recognizes you for doing amazing things. And one of the rewards is these great destination trips that happen in the spring. I have gone to Cancun. I've been on a cruise. I've gone to Punta Cana, and we're going to Riviera Maya this spring. These are trips we would never take on our own. We would not take the time. We would not, nothing. And you earn it. You work your business, you earn it, which is amazing. So those are my favorite memories, because it now brings the team together. It brings the faces together, and we have a great time. We learn personalities of everyone, and it's a blast. And that's my fave, I think. Okay.
I'll go real quick. I was trying to think about this question last night, and I was like, I have so many. I was like, I feel like I cannot put it down to one. So one is this last weekend, we actually had a team retreat in Arizona where I met, I met Whitney for the first time. I met Kim on here for the first time. And some other ladies, I didn't even know their names. And it was super awkward the first 10 minutes. By the end of the weekend, we were all just so close. And it was just such an amazing thing to be a part of that community, and just really, like I said, I was never a part of any kind of tribe or team or anything like that. So it was really, really amazing. But one more thing was in Punta Cana, that was my first Success Club trip last year. My husband came with me, obviously, because you get a free guest, which is really cool. And he came with me, and that was kind of my husband. Like I said, I signed up when he was deployed. He had no idea what I was doing. I didn't tell him I was signing up. He comes home 6 months later, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of doing this coach thing, but I'm still working. And he didn't really understand it. But when we went to Punta Cana, that was his first real seeing it, you know, like he really like saw the power of it in the community. He met the people I talked to all the time. He met my coach, he met her, like my coach's husband, and talked to her husband. And like, really, that was when it kind of sunk in, like, this is real. Like, he didn't really get it. He always supported me, but he didn't really get it. So when we went and he kind of saw what's possible, he saw what I'm working towards, he saw that I earned this trip for us. It was amazing. Like, it was just such an like amazing moment. And that's one of my favorite moments. And I'm so excited to go to Mexico and for him to meet all the other people I just met. Yeah.
So I'll go next. I think obviously my favorite Beachbody moment was the moment that I decided that I'm not going back to work. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be a single mom, and I'm going to stay my ass at home with my 7-year-old daughter. That has definitely was my goal in this whole event, this whole becoming a Beachbody coach, was to be able to stay at home with my girl. So it's definitely my favorite memory. I think it will always be like, whose is it? Woo woo, party.
Whitney, do you have a moment?
Yeah, sorry, my kids just got off the bus and the door was locked. Mom of the year. Okay. Okay, to say something different, I would say all of those incredible memories, but anytime, it can make me choke up just thinking about it. But anytime someone messages me and says like, Whitney, I feel confident around my husband. Like those moments, like I still remember the names of the people who have messaged me or shot me a text and said, I'm back to my pre-baby weight, or I have never been able to do a pull-up and I just did one at the park and I put all these little kids to shame that were goofing off on the monkey bars. Like those moments for me, like when it says like the memory makers, like those are the things embedded in my mind, besides the amazing retreats and things like that. So those I think are what keep me going.
Perfect. All right, 3 minutes to spare. We're going to get this, you guys. So real quick, our advice for someone who is thinking about becoming a Beachbody coach, real quick, what would you say?
What do you have to lose? Like, worst case scenario, you make $0, which, I mean, if you're working it, that's not going to happen. But what happens? You're getting healthier, you feel better, you're taking care of yourself, you're becoming more positive, you're surrounding yourself with amazing people who, it's literally our job to empower each other. Like, what do you have to lose?
Drop the mic right there. That's it. And I would just add, like, the community is unreal. Like, if you're home all day with your kids, all of a sudden you have this, like, close-knit of girls that become best friends, even though you've never met them face-to-face. If you work full-time and you love your job, or work full-time and you hate your job, you have this community of people that are surrounding you, that support you. And I'd say, like, it's unreal.
And my piece of advice is that when you decide to do this, just take that leap of faith. And when you do, go all in, because you're never going to get to anything that we've talked about here unless you 100% go all in. Don't give yourself a backup plan. Shoot for the stars. That's it.
So if nothing changes in your life right now, nothing's going to change. You will stay the same and you will be like this forever. If you want different things, if you have bigger goals, if you have dreams, go for it. If there's even an inkling in your head that maybe I should do it, contact your coach, push the button, tell them you're ready, and dive in, because then you're going to be asking yourself, what if? What if you did kill this? What if you did rock this out? What if you were a top 10 coach? What if you made $200 next week for your family? What if you brought yourself home from work to be with your kids? What if? What if you lost 50 pounds and got healthier? What if you helped your mom get rid of her diabetes? What if, you guys? That's what I have. What do you have to lose? We thank you guys so much for joining us. This was so much fun. This format was amazing. I loved it. We will pass out the recording so everyone has it. Any more questions, feel free to post it in that event page and one of us will answer it. Thank you guys for hopping on.
Bye.